Coach Cam made this shit.
I'm Brenden Kron. This is Rex, and welcome to Jammin with Kron and Rex. Did you know
that the King of Hearts is the only king without a mustache?
No.
I didn't get it either. I get it, but it's heartbreaking because I would. That's showing that like a guy without a mustache is much more desirable. Like, you know, he's the king of ass, I guess.
Is that why?
I'm assuming. I don't think it could be a coincidence that the King of Hearts.
Yeah.
That's immediately what I think of in my head. Is that I'm like, oh, they're showing this as like he's a ladies' man. He's clean cut. Like,
okay. Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. But
that's odd.
It is disheartening because I would love. I just can't grow a good mustache. Honestly, is the biggest problem. But if I could, I would love to have a big fucking mustache because I am so tired of people telling me that I have like a baby face. And I'm like, dude, I could try to take care of it, but the facial hair that I can grow, I can grow a decent little mustache, but my beard is horrible, if you can even consider it that. It's just those hairs that grow, like, they're like all 2 inches apart, and I'll get like one hair that'll grow out a little bit long, and then it'll pile up oddly right here, and soul patch, which, I don't know, it's just turning me into a very undesirable guy if I just grew out here, and here. I look like a fucking villain.
Yeah, you know, like the devil pictures? Yeah.
Yeah.
If your mustache could like curl up, it would be exactly.
No, my mustache can't do that shit too. No, I can't even get it to touch. And I hate that so much. Yeah. That just parks right fucking here. And I really don't know why.
Yeah, I definitely wish I could grow a mustache. I don't even think that like me personally would look good with a mustache.
It'd be odd.
Yeah, because I just always have baby face. That I think it would be weird. But if I fucking could, I would.
Yeah. Maybe it's just because knowing you would look like a guy that's undercover. Because it just be like, hey, that dude shouldn't have a mustache. Like, did he buy that mustache?
Yeah.
Why'd he buy that?
Yeah.
Is he undercover?
I did look it up real quick.
Cool.
He originally had one.
Oh, they make him take it off?
It was lost in a reproduction of the original design. Also, a similar mistake caused his axe to become a sword. So, kind of just, I don't know how that happens. How you just reprint it and then the mustache is gone.
I don't know. They could have just CGI'd that shit like they did with Superman.
Yeah.
What? I don't know why you would. Do you remember what tattoo I have here?
Is it the lie one? The truth is power?
That's over here.
Is it? Is it the boom?
No.
No, because that's over there.
Here. It's the king of something. I want to say diamond.
Okay.
I think he has a sword though, and that's what made me think. I was like, oh well, maybe I'll look at his mustache. But I'm like, he doesn't have a fucking mustache. It's a skeleton. Oh, so yeah. I really wish I knew what tattoos I had.
Isn't that weird?
I just don't think about it, dude.
Like, yeah, whenever people told me that before I had tattoos, that like say, "Oh, I forgot I have them." I'm like, "Are you dumb? Like, how fucking stupid are you to forget you have tattoos?" Now that I have them, I'm like, "Oh yeah."
Yeah, I really don't think about it,
especially the ones I don't see every day.
Yeah,
like there's some of them like I never forget about like Itachi because he's right on my hand, like or right on my arm, right here that I see every fucking day. Yeah, but like the one on the back of my arm, I forget about it.
I do too.
All the fucking time.
Yeah. I hate when people see my tattoos and are like, how many do you have?
Oh, I hate that question.
Because I don't know. I don't know how to tell you. I have an entire sleeve that is comprised of different tattoos. I have no idea what to tell you there.
I always say I don't know how to count them. And people are like, oh, that's kind of funny. And I'm like, I have a lot of duos. I have a lot of like, my back, you can count it as one or it's two wings. So do you count it as two?
Yeah.
And then some people are like, yeah, it's two different tattoos. And then some people are like,
okay, you count them.
Yeah, and then some people are like, no, it's wings, that's the tattoo, so it's one. I'm like, see the problem?
Yeah. Well, yeah, see, that's stupid to consider that too, though, because
Oh, yeah, no, I agree.
I have Ramona's phone number, the 7 X's, and they're not attached. So is that 7 different tattoos right there?
I guess. Some people would say yeah.
Easy answer is no.
No, I would say it's one. Yeah.
Because, like, I don't know, I'll tell people that, like, I was like, I guess if you want to, you can count my entire left arm as one tattoo. But I was like, there's 13 different roses on my forearm alone.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, and I'm not going to count them.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know, kind of annoying. If you see a person that you can clearly tell only has a couple, yeah, be like, hey, how many do you have? But, like, if you see somebody has an entire sleeve, that's not a good question to ask.
I wonder if anyone's ever asked someone who has, like, face, head tattoos, their neck, like, fully covered. If anyone's ever been like, how many tattoos do you have? No fucking way, right? Like, they don't. It's only because we're not, like, fully covered in tattoos that people ask.
There's this one dude at my work who's got his entire, like, head done. Like, not his face, but just, like, on top of his head and to the back and around his neck and stuff.
Pretty cool.
He doesn't have arm tattoos.
That's odd.
And I was like, why don't you have arm tattoos? And he was like, oh, well, my mom would have killed me. And I'm like, your entire head is covered. I was like, you can't just throw a hat on. It's going down your neck. But unless you grow out a pretty gnarly mullet, you're not going to cover that. Like,
what?
I thought that was really weird. I was like, I think your mom would be a lot more mad if she saw your fucking face right now rather than your arms. But
I didn't expect that reason.
It was really weird.
Yeah,
like,
that's...
Yeah, I thought he was going to, like, chuckle or something, but he was like, no. And he's a pretty big guy, so I was just like, okay. That makes
good answer.
Enough sense to me where I don't need a question.
Yeah. Didn't expect to talk about tattoos.
Yeah,
and right before I ask how your week is, I think it's funny that this is the one week that we both wear long sleeves, really cover up our tattoos, and then talk about tattoos.
Yeah.
So, kind of ironic. But how was your week, buddy?
Pretty okay, I guess. I mean, the only eventful thing that happened, I guess, was just, well, I reached my milestone already for this year when it comes to reading books.
So how many books did you read this week? 6?
Is what?
Yeah, because like a week or two ago, you said you were at like 6 or 7.
I don't think so. Because I would say in the past week I've been through 3 books. Mm-hmm. And, well, no, you honestly might be right, because 2 of the books that I've read, I knocked out in a day, and they took like less than a couple hours to read. Yeah. But I would say in the past week it's 4 books.
Okay.
Well, no, I guess you can't even say that, because right now I'm on a new book. So I wouldn't consider that me being done with a book. I'm like 2 chapters in. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, so I've read 12 books this year.
Awesome.
And I am now currently working... I upped the goal, and I'm going to try to get 50 this year.
Yeah, pretty drastic jump, but it makes sense from the pace that you're at.
Yeah, I'm on pace here. I think by that app's calculations, I'm like a couple books ahead of my goal. So, like, if I just keep going at this pace, I will still beat that fairly easily. But, yeah, that was pretty cool. Saw Uncharted. Tom Holland was great. Mark Wahlberg's great. Valentine's Day, cool. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got a couple books. 1984 by George Orwell and The Troop by Nick Cutter. 2 of my favorite books. And I think I realized this week that I took a weird start when it comes to books. Mm-hmm. Because I'll read an entire book, like it, good story, good details, good development with the characters, but nobody dies. And I think less of the book now because of it. Like, I don't know, that's how it started off, with just reading horror novel after horror novel, to where I'm like, well, nobody died. Like, that was just a really beautiful story. Like, why did I just waste 4 hours of my life? Nobody fucking died. And I told my girlfriend that, and she was like, I think that's like how psychopaths are started. And I was like, it is what it is. But I was like, I expect more.
Yeah, it is funny. The only thing I can think of in that, like, I guess trying to process it on my side is like, it feels like the stakes aren't there. It feels like everything just worked itself out rather than
it's like
something
almost too sitcom-y.
Yeah. Like it just feels like good, like Trouble in Paradise more than its actual like tragedy.
Yeah.
What's your favorite? What was your favorite book of the 12 that you've read?
The Troop.
The Troop.
Yeah,
I think
solid.
I think you talked about this one already.
Yeah, I gave that a solid 5 out of 5. The dude's fucking amazing. I feel cool being able to say that. Like I think I got like my favorite author.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm pretty happy about that.
Yeah, it's really
and just both of us in general with what we've been doing lately is like, especially with going back and watching old movies. It's weird the timeline we took. Obviously, we're only like 24, so it's weird that we grew up with these references that were made by people who grew up watching these movies or reading these books.
Yeah.
And like, to put in the reference, like I'm talking like I just saw Casablanca. I just read 1984 at the beginning of the year. So you're talking about we'll always have Paris from Casablanca, and then like Big Brother in 1984. I've heard those expressions my entire life. Had nothing to connect it to. Knew pretty much what it was trying to say, but am just now coming around to going to the source of it. I'm like, hey, it's just a weird going back and understanding these references that we've heard from like Family Guy or South Park, and shit. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah, I think an example of that is that we were like 1, maybe 2, 3 years off from seeing Star Wars Family Guy before Star Wars. Like, we were that close.
Yeah.
On age.
Yeah.
But yeah, like every movie that I've seen a reference to it before, because I'm watching critically acclaimed movies.
Mostly Family Guy. I'll say in my life, it's been Family Guy that I am seeing reference after reference, and I'm watching old movies, reading books, and I'm like,
a lot of Cartoon Network too. Like, I think like Kids Next Door, Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. I think they had a lot of references to shows that I just didn't realize.
Yeah.
And then now looking back, I'm like, oh, that's what that was.
You're genuinely not supposed to.
Yeah.
Like, especially in kid shows, like maybe Family Guy wants you to be like, oh, yeah, I've heard that before. But like,
they're on the nose too. Family Guys, a lot of times they're like, hey, this episode, we're going to do 3 Stephen King books.
Yeah.
Like, they're very blatant sometimes.
Yeah, like I'm reading Misery right now, and I like the order it went in, because I don't know, it just makes it funny, but I'm not supposed to think this book's funny. But I'm just picturing Stewie as Annie Wilkes, and then the author as Brian, because that's what I saw, and it's just so weird.
Yeah.
Just mental image, picturing that for the entire book.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's been really cool. I think this is something I wish I would have done a long time ago.
Yeah.
Was like watch the movies that everybody talks about. Like, I still have not seen Godfather. Yeah. And I'll probably say that next week on the podcast too, but I have not seen Godfather.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be watching it.
Yeah. I'm not dying to, but I am going to have to watch it.
Yeah,
Yeah. The first 2 are like 2 of the top 3 movies of all time in a lot of people's rankings.
Yeah.
So
and the problem with that movie is it's been parodied to a point where I think I know the entire movie.
Yeah.
Rather than, say, like 12 Angry Men, I knew what was going to happen. I knew the premise. But it wasn't parodied to a point where, like, I knew the words that were going to be said. And that's why I loved that movie.
Family Guy had a 12 Angry Men episode.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I knew pretty much exactly what was going to happen. But the movie was still great. Despite knowing that, it still did great.
Yeah.
I mean, it was still a good movie on its own.
Yeah. It is kind of funny to me you went just like complete left turn this year of just like reading books and watching old movies and becoming a Jordan fan. Like, you've aged so much this year.
I really have, dude. Like, I now wear strips over my nose when I go to bed to open up my sinuses. I wear like knee sleeves around the house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Massaging your feet when you're sitting on the couch.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I've had the feeling that internally I have been an old man for a while, but like this year has kind of like brought it out.
Yeah.
It's like I go to sleep early. I go to sleep pretty fucking early nowadays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a bad thing.
Well, no. But
Yeah.
it just...
I think a lot of people do.
Drastic turn.
Yeah, I just think it's funny that you're like, I turned 24, time to start reading books and watching old movies and becoming a Jordan fan is what I think is a really old thing.
I know. With my current progression, I am working towards a midlife crisis by the time I'm like 27. And then I'm just going to start getting back into like watching Pokemon and shit.
Yeah,
I'll be
yeah.
like almost 30. Yeah, I don't know. Whenever I start to like something, that is all I want to do.
Yeah. Yeah. I think, and the reason I said like it's not a bad thing is I think a lot of people are like, it's like, oh, I'm 25, I'm 20, like I'm in my early 20s, I should be going out and partying. It's like, or do what you like to do and just do that.
Yeah, if that's what you want to do, yeah.
Yeah.
That is what you should do.
Yeah.
But
I think a lot of people get caught up on like what young is.
well, and seeing like how other people their age on social media are living their lives, and they're like,
Yeah.
holy fuck, I have like 6 cats and I've read my like 4th book this week. But that's what you want to do. That's fine.
Yeah. If you enjoyed that time, keep doing it.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Things could be a lot simpler. But
Yeah.
not a lot of people treat it as
Yeah.
more rough than it is. I was going to bring this up later, but I feel like since we're talking about movies, before I ask you about your week, I wanted to show you some, we follow a decent amount of like movie sites, pages on Instagram.
Yeah.
And somebody posted, it's called Cinema Perspective. They posted the scene of Ariana Grande whenever in Don't Look Up.
Okay.
Whenever she's talking to Leonardo DiCaprio and Leo's like, hey, I heard about your breakup. Sorry to hear that. And she says, I think you need to mind your own business, old man. Mm-hmm. It's funny. It was kind of a funny scene. You know, the obvious joke there is that, like, throughout the entire movie, it is very, very publicly broadcasted about their breakup.
Yeah, it's like all that she kind of wants to talk about on everything.
Yeah, it's on news outlets. She's going to interviews talking about Kid Cudi's doing it. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, that's the joke is that, like, he brings it up in private and she's like, mind your own fucking business, dude.
Yeah.
And the comment section sucks so fucking bad in this. Because I was like, I wonder what people had to say about this.
Yeah.
And it's kind of what I thought it was going to be. Like, the surprising thing, and I'll quote some of them in particular, but people saying that, like, anti-climate change people are the people that hate this movie. And the people...
I do think that is true.
That's not entirely true.
Well, no, we hate it, but...
Yeah, I will say, I don't think climate change is a myth, and I hate that fucking movie.
No,
I fucking hate it.
Yeah, that's why I hate this movie even more, because this movie is, like, just like, hey, you should like it. Like, everything that you believe, movie is for you. It's so handmade.
Yeah.
Just hand it to me. I'm like, no.
And people are, and like some of the other comments were saying, like, oh, the people that love it are the people that sympathize with the rich. I'm like, I have seen people attack rich people in almost every fucking movie that rich people are a part of. Mm-hmm. They're not doing anything different, but people treat this movie like it's just like the pinnacle of satire. And you're just like, no, they're not. They're very in your face. Like, just because you pick up on it doesn't mean you're smart. No. Like, there was even this one person that said, and I quote, he took time out of his day to post this, and at the time it had 23 likes.
Okay.
So this guy, not going to name him, but this movie was satire at its best. She snaps at him and tells him to mind his own business for talking about her relationship problems, yet she broadcasts her entire life through media with a laughing face. One, you know how much I hate this. You're not reviewing jack shit.
No, you just said what happened.
Yeah, you are summarizing what happened. It's like you're describing it to somebody who is mute who can't see or hear.
Well, I think it's more of like ego. You're just like, oh, you're too stupid to understand. Let me just tell you what happened.
Yeah. And 2 is exactly that. Does this person think he picked up on something that nobody else is capable of picking up on? Because 23 people like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, did they not get that? And they found that helpful and was like, oh, that was a good comment. Like, that helped me understand the movie more.
Or they were like, I was going to say that. And they liked it.
Yeah, because I'm like, dude, they're not picking up on anything that, like, it's one of the most over-the-top with message movie I have ever seen. Like, it is in your face.
Yeah, it felt like a commercial.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, like, it feels like a movie that you could literally leave with a black eye with how much they're just slamming that fucking message.
Yeah.
Because you're just like, dude, I get it. Like, they pretty much say everything, but word for word the message that they're trying to say.
Mm-hmm.
But it's so annoying that, like, people are saying, when they're talking about hate, this person said, in response to someone saying, I don't get why so many people hate this movie. Mm-hmm. And somebody commented, said, mostly by people who don't believe in climate change. Like, how pretentious do you got to be to think, like, that's why people don't like the movie? Like, and I get it. There might be some people that's like, oh, this movie's too far left, or it's too up its own ass with the message that I don't agree with. It can be a bad movie.
Yeah.
Like, just because Leo's in it, just because Jennifer Lawrence is in it, just because the message might be right, it can still fucking suck.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it does.
Yeah, I think it's horrible.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of movies, I'll think one thing about it.
Yeah.
I'll use the first Suicide Squad movie.
Yeah.
The first time I watched it, I was like, this is really entertaining. I had a lot of fun with it.
Because you're anti-climate change.
As I started to, like, think about that movie, it just was worse and worse and worse. Yeah. And this movie...
Well, it's because when you see other things...
That point you
after
out?
that... Well, after you see things outside of that movie, because after you see that movie... That's pretty much all your head's wrapped up in for a little bit. Mm-hmm. So that's why I think it's not fair to, like, judge or review something right after, because you're either going to be too far left or too far right with it, because that's literally the last thing you saw. It's all you know. But if you take, like, a week, start watching, you watch other things, hear other stuff, you might be like, wow, that was kind of bad. Mm-hmm. Like, in the moment I was entertained, I liked it, but, like, a week later, I would never watch that movie again.
Yeah. Yeah. And this movie was a movie that I watched, and I was like, that was fucking horrible. And
yeah,
I actually didn't think people liked it. I heard it was just big. Like, it was just a big movie. But I didn't see anyone praising it.
Yeah, it was a big concept. I never thought I was going to see the Suicide Squad on TV.
No. I'm talking about Don't Look Up.
Okay.
When I watched it, I didn't hear anyone really, like... And again, I follow a lot of, like, film... critics and shit like that. No one was talking about it. It's still hard for me to find someone talking about this movie.
That's why I checked the comments on this one, because I don't see it a lot.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, so this is just a forgotten big movie. So it just wasn't good. Yeah. Like, it wasn't great, but it wasn't bad. But then I watched it and I was like, oh, it's horrible. Like, I hated this movie.
Like, honestly offensive.
Yeah.
Like, I was offended how much I hated that movie.
Yeah, it pissed me off.
And it pisses me off even more when you see comments like this that are just like, well, you don't get it. And you're like, that's not the fucking problem. I got the message.
Yeah, I hate everything about this movie.
Yeah.
The only decent thing in this movie is Leo.
Yeah, he has especially one scene whenever he's on the news show, whenever he actually freaks the fuck out about what's going on.
Yeah.
That is a solid moment.
Yeah.
And I think...
It just shows him acting his ass off, and I love it for that. But at this exact same time, I hate everything else. I hate what he was supposed to do, everything. Oh, and Timothy, can't pronounce his name. Chalamet.
Yeah, there's a V in there somewhere.
Don't
let that trip you up.
Yeah, I don't understand it. But he acts his ass off, too. He is really funny in that movie. But that's it. That's the only good things.
That's a looker, too, man. That's a good-looking dude, but...
Yeah.
But yeah, that is a movie where I will say, by far, the biggest problem with that was the writing. I think everything else could have been forgiven, but I mean, honestly, my problems are with the writing, because it's not like the visual effects were bad, the acting wasn't bad, but the writing sucked ass. Like, it's a movie that the writing sucks so bad, I'm waiting to hear that, like, halfway through the movie, like, one of the writers were taken hostage and somebody else had to take over. Like, I'd be like, oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense, you know? All right, well, let's not get too far away, because you know how we Jamers are. We could talk about this shit all day, and we have on multiple podcasts, so sorry. But what I was wanting to ask you is simply, how was your week? How was Valentine's Day? What'd you get, and what'd you give?
So, week was kind of boring.
So, mind your own business.
So, no. No. Week was kind of boring overall.
Yeah.
I watched a couple movies, all of them yesterday with you. So,
Yeah, and all pretty much Stanley Kubrick.
Yeah. So the movies were Clockwork Orange, 2001: A Space Odyssey, and I cannot remember the zombie movie.
Return of the Living Dead.
I keep wanting to say Night, but it's Return of the Living Dead.
That, not Stanley Kubrick, by the way.
No. So we watched those three, and for me, all three of them were a little disappointing.
Yeah, and in all fairness...
And I don't hate any of them.
No, I didn't hate any of them, but there's been such a long buildup for me with 2001 and Clockwork Orange being who they're by, being as critically renowned as they are. Yep. I've heard about these movies my entire life. They're constantly referenced.
Yep.
And it's not that they're bad movies for me. I mean, it's not even that I disliked them, but they just... I don't know. I just didn't. I just didn't love them as much as I wanted to.
Same. Something that I am like literally this week I've been working on it is trying to not like if someone says I don't like it, that doesn't mean they dislike it. I'm trying to get my head around that a little more because if you say you don't like something, I'm like, oh, they hate it.
Yeah.
But no, you can just not like it, but not hate it. Like that's. Yeah, so I've been trying to get better about like just not assuming that people fucking hate shit because they say they don't like it.
I need to get over. I need to stop like overthinking about how I feel about movies, especially since me and you like rate them now. Like, I don't think I'm ever going to get to the point to leave a review unless like I don't know. I was honestly going to leave a review and like don't look up, but I don't know. Like I don't think I'm gonna get to that point. I'm okay with my voice just being how I rated it, but I constantly...
I think we're going to get to reviews. We're pretty close to it.
Yeah, we're vocally, we're there, but like commenting, typing out a review,
maybe
I don't
not.
know if I'll do that.
Yeah.
But I need to stop overthinking, like, is this a good movie or not? Because it pretty much comes down to like if you liked it, but me, I'm like, man, I didn't really like that movie, but I know it's a good movie. Like, it's technically sound. Like, it's like Tim Duncan. Like, it might not be the most fun thing in the world to watch, but it's it's sound. Like, it's good editing, good writing, it's good cinematography, good just directing. But you're just like, well, it's just not for me. Mm-hmm. That's okay. It doesn't have to be. Yeah. But I'll... like, I guess subconsciously talk myself into believing that I like something just because I know, like, I know the director is good. I know the actors are good. I know everything from a film critic standpoint looks good. Yeah. But I just don't like it.
I feel
that's fine.
Especially that way with that list over there.
Yes. That has jumbled me up a little bit.
Because and the list is, which... thinking about it more is even crazier. It's not the top 100 movies from IMDb. Yeah. It is a list that's top 100 movies,
like viewer
audience. Experience is what I believe it's called. Yeah. So it's viewers saying these were the movies I had not necessarily the best time with, but they thought it was the best. And I have to really think about it that way because Requiem for a Dream is on there, and that is not a good experience at all.
Yeah. Well, and what's hard to gauge is like me and you just watched Modern Times, Charlie Chaplin's film. I didn't like it.
I didn't either. I gave it a decent score, and I need to go back and lower it.
I do too, because like it shouldn't have been that long. If it was like 30 minutes, I think I would have really enjoyed it.
I had a really good time at the beginning, but it just kept going.
But I was like, man, it's so fucking going on. But it's hard. It's hard to rank stuff like that if you overthink it, because you're like, overall, I know this is a good movie. Yeah. Because, I mean, like, for the time when it came out, this was, like, revolutionary. But, like, the problem is, I'm not from that fucking time. It's almost 100 years later. So, it's not connecting. Like, it still has, like, commentary that's still relevant. Like, the whole working class being sheep, which fucking starts off with that. Mm-hmm. Which, not subtle at all. But, I mean, you know, who cares? Yeah. That's not the point. I didn't watch it for the message.
No. And some of the scenes are pretty good. And knowing the scenes. Yes. Like the skating around and stuff and knowing, like, some of the impacts of it.
Yeah, and the working on the line thing. Yeah. Like, it's a good movie. I get its importance throughout the years, but I will never watch that movie again. And I really didn't think that highly of it, but I do get its importance and why... Yeah. Some people like it. But if someone my age tells me that that's like a top-tier comedy movie, I will automatically assume that they're lying to sound intelligent. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like they're like someone who's lying to sound like they have inside knowledge, that they're just like, oh, well, you didn't appreciate it because you don't understand it. Like, no, I think I understood it. It was pretty on the fucking nose. And I think if my great-great-grandparents understood it, I think I can kind of get a grasp at it. You know? So, and that's what just make shit like that hard. But.
Yeah. So the movies that I watched, 2001, I was honestly going into this movie thinking it was going to be like easily one of my favorite movies ever. Yes. So that's why it was such a letdown. Because like the premise, everything that I knew about it was like perfect. Yeah. Everything was everything that I wanted in that movie. But it felt long. It felt like the parts that I did know were oversaturated. It felt like it was a little too confusing in places it didn't really need to be, which is what I like about sci-fi, but this one felt a little overdone.
And some of the segments that you don't particularly enjoy last a while. They're not bad segments, like visually they're appealing. Yeah. I mean, like story-wise they're appealing, but like it's just like, okay, I got it.
And the part that it's trying to get to, like the meat of it all, like the ship being evil, kinda. I think that's the premise of the movie. Is like when you read the description, is the ship turns on them.
Yeah, and dear God, this cannot be a spoiler for anybody. This movie has been out for like since double our lifetimes. Yeah. So if you haven't seen it, dude, suck a dick and die.
But that part's really good. I actually really like that. But the problem is like the movie that it's trying to be is a very short. It's about a third of the movie.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was about to say. I felt like I watched 3 different movies. Yeah. And I was like...
One of them were fucking immaculate, and 2 of them were okay.
Yeah. The middle part. The creepy suspense, you kind of have an idea where it's going, so you start to build your own distrust, and then you see it in action, and you're just like, how the fuck is he going to beat whatever this entity is? Yeah. And that part's amazing.
Yeah, I love
that would have been more of the movie.
Then the other movie... The other really standout one was Clockwork Orange. And from what I thought I knew, was that the movie was going to be like gritty and kind of like dark. And then, because I heard the movie's really, really dark.
And it was dark.
It was, but it was goofy.
It's because I looked it up because I honestly was confused by it. It's a dark comedy. Which kind of made me like be like, oh, maybe I was being a little too hard on it because I didn't know it was considered a comedy.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Yeah, I thought it was just had comedic jokes every once in a while, and it was supposed to be like a dark tale. But I was like, this is wacky.
Yeah, yeah,
it's and like that really was fucking wacky.
That was my problem. Is I went into this movie expecting this dark, gritty movie.
Yes, and then I was expecting like The Dark Knight or something, and then we got like a very I don't think you could say that word. A very assaulting version of the Three Stooges. Yeah. That's really aggressive Three Stooges.
Yeah. And so it was just, again, not what I expected. And then, I don't know, as I watched it, I was a little disappointed in it as well. I thought it was going to be fucking wonderful. Yeah. And it has its moments, but it's odd.
Yeah. And it's another one. I know it's not a bad movie. I know it wasn't directed bad. but it just wasn't for me. It kind of let me down.
Yeah, didn't love it.
So, but how was your Valentine's Day?
Valentine's Day was good. Nothing too crazy. We didn't.
Yeah,
we went out to dinner. I got some cacti. She got me some cacti. I got her some flowers, candy.
I thought you were talking about at the restaurant. Because people do eat cactus.
Oh no. She literally got me cacti.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say I was actually kind of interested in that. If it looks how it tastes, then it sounds awful.
I would try it.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I would try it. I'm not against that, but
Yeah.
it just doesn't sound good.
Yeah. And then
So plants. Yeah. Plants are a pretty solid one.
Yeah. And
It
then
shows
candy.
Yeah. Plants, I think, are neat the same way I think, like, giving books to someone's neat. Because, like, if you know the person, you know what to get them, then it kind of means more. Because it's like, you're a cactus person. Which is weird, because it sounds like a slur. But yeah, Brenden, he's a cactus guy. And your girlfriend knows that. So she got you one. I think that's cute as shit. Just,
yeah. I have 2 in my room already. I have 2 more. So
yeah,
I think it's neat.
Because, on the other side of things, like, if she would have went out and bought you a full, like, palm tree, be like, well, she doesn't know you.
Because I would have liked it, but I don't know where I would have put it.
It'd been neat.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's the best thing.
No.
I'm just glad that we didn't hear that no puss was given for Valentine's Day. That doesn't mean nobody got any.
Yeah.
That's not the entree.
If that's not, guys don't ever make dick the present, and girls don't ever make pussy the present.
Well, if you put your dick in a box,
it's funny, but it better not be
pretty funny.
the present. Yeah. You gotta have other presents with it.
Yeah, you gotta have like an Apple Watch wrapped around it. But because of that, I wanted to. This is 73, but I was just wanting to look at 75. But I wanted to look at what Cosmopolitan thought would be like the best gifts for men this year. And because I was like, it's going to be stupid shit. Like, it's going to be like, oh, get yourself some lingerie so I can see you in it. And I'm like, no, that's not a fucking gift.
It is if it's not the only gift.
Honestly, that's a gift that shouldn't happen that day. Like, that should be some other time. Like, if you just come home, she's wearing lingerie you've never seen her, that's awesome. Yeah. But if I come home and I see you in different lingerie, I'm going back out. Like, that's not cool. You just got yourself something to feel sexy.
Yeah. I don't know why, but whenever you said it like that, I'm imagining like you in like the trench coat and the hat, and you hang it up and she's there and you're just like, oh, and put the hat back on and leave.
Yeah, that's what I would do. But I'll just go through this fairly quick because it's kind of just a good list. So I'll go to 10, work my way up. 10, a back and neck massager. Neat. I wasn't expecting shit like this.
Yeah, neat.
9, a fucking record player.
Yeah, I need one, so yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, 8, a camera.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Yeah,
now
we really need a new camera.
Do we? Well, I didn't know that.
Not in desperate need, but it would be nice to have a new one. Now
if this was paired with a new lingerie set, 10 out of 10. That's a solid fucking gift.
Yeah.
7, VR headset.
Yeah, fuck
cool. I don't really know what I'd use a VR headset for.
Really?
I'm immediately thinking of porn.
There's a fuck ton of games on
VR
that
I'm sure there is, but like, I don't play video games. That's not true. I play video games all the fucking time, but I play one video game.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, I might be missing out on some VR porn. I don't know how crazy that is. Because I've tried watching it. I don't have VR. But all you see is just the same scene.
Twice.
Yeah. I'm just like, that's kind of cool. But I think I'm missing on like 80% of what makes this good. Number 6, air fryer. That is way too low. Every man wants an air fryer. I promise.
Mm-hmm.
I fucking promise. You could get a man this or a stripper for Valentine's Day, and at least 8 out of 10 men are picking an air fryer. Air fryers are solid. Universally liked.
Yeah.
Your organizer case.
What?
A leather and canvas electronic organizer. So, like, it organizes, like, your headphones, your cords, and
it's
shit.
Neat.
It's neat. I'd rather have an air fryer.
I'd rather have everything on this list.
Yeah. 4, a weighted blanket. That's nice.
I've heard a lot of hype about a weighted blanket.
Yeah.
I've never used one, so yeah, it'd be cool.
Doesn't that just sound like claustrophobic, though? Like, I just feel like I'm just going to be, like, smothered all night.
I looked up the heaviest weighted blanket.
How heavy is it?
I don't remember, but I remember, like, whenever I talked to someone, I was like, I wonder what is, like, because I didn't know how much they weigh. And I was like, I wonder what the fucking heavy, like, 20 pounds? Like, that'd be fucking wild, but I don't know. Keep going.
I was thinking of ones that they could pitch to you. It's like, oh, it's great. It feels like you're being smothered by Hulk Hogan every night. 3, a braided genuine leather bracelet.
Weighted blanket, 50 pounds.
It's pretty heavy.
That's
an exercise.
That's fucking wild.
Yeah. Like, if you want to roll over or something, or if you want to do, like, one of those things where you kick your blanket up so you can tuck it under your legs. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's going to be a workout. You're going to be sore the next morning.
Yeah.
Number 2, a 100 movie scratch-off poster.
Neat.
Yeah, that is pretty neat.
No, I like mine, so.
Yeah. Happy Valentine's Day, buddy. Number 1, AirPods.
Yeah.
I think a lot of average men are picking an air fryer over that.
If I didn't have either, I'd rather have AirPods.
Same. But we're very, like, I don't know, like, kind of reliant on this shit. But, like, an average guy. Think of an average 40-year-old guy.
I think if an average guy doesn't have either, they'd rather have AirPods. I think they're pretty fucking awesome.
Okay, what about an older guy? Like a 40-year-old? Like,
right.
Dude, they could go the rest of their lives without a wireless headphone, and they're okay.
Okay. I'll play your side of this.
Thank you.
Someone who doesn't go to the gym, someone who doesn't really listen to music or books, doesn't really like podcasts, which one would they choose? Yeah, they'll probably take in the air fryer.
Yeah. That's a lot of people.
No, I think a lot of people would love fucking AirPods. Like, they're great.
They are. I love them.
Yeah.
I'm not discrediting AirPods. I'm just saying I think a lot of people get more excited about an air fryer.
I mean, me personally, it's not close. I would much rather have AirPods if I didn't have either.
Me too.
Yeah.
You're weird. We're just weird on talking about, like, agreeing with stuff.
So we agree violently.
Yeah, we do. That's pretty much sums up how we agree with each other.
Yeah, but, it is odd.
Yeah, I'm just glad to hear that, like, nobody is just getting poon served up for Valentine's Day, because I just think that's annoying.
Lazy.
Yeah, that is. I mean, like, how would you feel if I came over for your birthday party and I just got my cock in a box? How would you, Brenden, cry? Seriously, I don't know what to give you.
Honestly, it'd be hilarious at, like, a big party, and that's the gift. Yeah,
like,
that's
a couple
fucking hilarious.
minutes, but then you're just like,
all right,
dude, like, yeah.
Put it away.
Yeah. It's like I can see the lid of the box rising up. Like, you need to, people are getting uncomfortable. They're leaving. Yeah, no, I'm just happy to hear about that.
Would you have me open the gift first or last?
I guess it depends on how cold it was that day.
Yeah.
If it was fairly cold, then I probably had to do a considerate amount of fluffing.
Yeah. So probably, like, first.
Yeah.
So, hey, can we go ahead and open my gift? Hurry.
Yeah. Where'd y'all go to eat for Valentine's Day?
Oh, fuck. Some bar. Some weird Irish bar up in the Highlands. I don't remember the name.
O'Shea's?
No.
Oh, okay. That's all I got.
It's two words. It's a name.
O'Shea's?
No. I think it's like Mahomes or something like that. Like, it was weird, but it was pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, cool. What about you?
Five Guys. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
You had Five Guys for Valentine's Day?
That's right. I took my girl for Five Guys. No.
How generous.
We was going to go to Steak and Shake.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's where I first asked her out, because I showed her the
cute.
playlist of, like, like asking her out and shit.
Yeah, that's really cute.
Yeah, thank you. They were closed. Yeah, so I kind of built my day around that. I looked at their website. They said they'd be open at that time. They didn't say their dine-in was closed, but they just fucking were. So I was like, okay, I guess I'll just have to take my girl to get Five Guys before this movie.
So, I couldn't be sweet to her, so let me give her Five Guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I don't like, and my girlfriend even made fun of me for this, is because the day before, she said, how should I dress? And I was like, well, it's going to be like 30 degrees. And she was like, so what should I wear? And I was like, in that weather, I'd wear like pants and a hoodie. Mm-hmm. And I was like, just casual, I guess. Mm-hmm. And she was like, she started laughing immediately. And I was like, what? And she was like, I was telling my friend from work that you was going to take me out somewhere. And I didn't know how to dress. And she said that her friend was like, oh, watch. All guys are just going to say just dress casual. I was like, what the fuck do you want me to tell you? Dress casual. She was like, where are we going to a nice restaurant? And I knew in my head, I was like, I had Steak and Shake playing. And I was like, no, we're not going somewhere nice. So fucking dress casual. Dress like it's going to be 30 degrees tomorrow.
I only answer that question one way. And I say slutty. I always say dress slutty.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
If it's warm, I'll say slutty.
I say it anytime. You make the decision if you want to dress slutty. I don't.
That's up to
if
you.
you want to dress casual, yeah, I'm not going to be mad at you. But if you ever ask me, even you, like if you ask me, how should I dress? I'm saying slutty.
What is the sluttiest thing I own? I do have that fishnet shirt still, so
yeah,
I guess I would wear that and no pants. I
the
guess I'd dress like
the Supreme underwear only.
Yeah, I was gonna say I could just dress like a slutty Daffy Duck, but yeah, that's really the sluttiest thing I got, I guess. Oh, I got those fucking knee-high boots that I bought to be Macho Man, and his feather boa. I could just be a fucking slut next year for Halloween or tomorrow.
You could just be Macho Man Randy Savage again.
He's pretty slutty, man.
Yeah.
Assumably. I don't know. I don't think I've ever heard someone describe Macho Man as slutty. Slutty man Randy Savage. But yeah, I don't know. That just annoys me as a guy when I get asked those questions. So it's like whenever I go out shopping with her, she's like, oh, what shoes look better with this? I was like, I can tell you what I think looks better, but that's your call. You know, like I don't want to pick that shit.
Oh, I love picking clothes.
Oh, I don't.
Yeah, so.
I hate that shit. Well, I don't mind if it's a straight up question like, oh, does this look good? But whenever it's just like, oh, do you think these would look good with blank? And I'm like, oh, god damn it. Like, I like it. I can tell you that I think those look good. If those look good with that, I don't know. I think they might. I don't know. Yeah. You know, like I'm not really built for all this shit.
Yeah. Yeah. If my girl was like, you dress me for now on, I'm okay with it. Like, I would be so okay picking outfits for people. Like,
yeah,
I like that shit.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't know. I mean, it ended up being a pretty good day. She, I guess, did end up calling me a dick later in that day because I don't know, I complimented her, and as a compliment back, she said, I love you. And I was like, that's not a compliment. And she's like, why isn't it? I was like, that's not a compliment. I was like, can you not think of a compliment? And she said, no matter what, I think you're handsome. I'm like, you're saying that like I just got in a car wreck and I'm disfigured. I'm like, what are you fucking talking about? And she was like, why isn't that a compliment? And I was like, that's what you tell people after something horrific just happened to them.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I'm not handsome no matter what. Like, if I just like fucking fall in a tub of acid like Joker, but I just end up looking fucked after, I just don't look like Jared Leto. Yeah. Like, I'm not handsome no matter what. And she just was like, why do you think of that? She's like, I just think you're handsome. She was like, and I was like, but that's just not true for people.
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, but you don't have to think of all that. You could just say thank you. And I was like, well, you've given me 2 bad compliments in a row. Like, don't get me wrong, I love you too, babe. That's not a compliment. I'm not complimenting you every time I say I love you. Mm-mm. That's just expressing a feeling. And then handsome no matter what? I was like, what, did something happen? Did a bird shit on my face? I'm like, why are you saying that? That is not something that's said in regular conversation. I was like, you have never said that to me before.
Yeah.
But
yeah, that's mean.
Yeah, but I don't know. I guess I might be a dick. Because like that same day, she showed me this video of like this guy on TikTok who was talking to his grandpa, well, his dad that has Alzheimer's, and was like, oh, hey, Dad. You know, he was describing basically that he lives with them now because, you know, they had to sell his house because they was like, you scare me. You cannot live by yourself.
Yeah.
You're scary. And then he just kept being like, oh, well, how about blank? And he was like, oh, well, your daughter graduated from college. And he was like, oh, no kidding. It's just kind of sad. And I don't know, my girlfriend was telling me about that. And immediately what was going through my head the entire time, I didn't have to say it. I probably shouldn't have because it's just not supposed to be this way. I hated that fucking video. I hated it because I was like, that just seems exploitive to me. Mm-hmm. That they're just, could you imagine, you're talking to your dad that has Alzheimer's and you're explaining to him this major thing that's changing in his fucking life. He can't even live on his own anymore, and you shove a fucking camera in his face.
Yeah.
Like, are you serious? Like, you can't have an actual interaction with this person who has no idea where the fuck he's at. And my girlfriend's like, oh, well, that's cute. You know, he's being so nice. I'm like, no, he's being a dick.
Yeah.
Like, because to me, people like that seem like they do not do that unless it's for show.
Yeah.
It may not be that way. That's what I assume.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, that's just such a shitty thing to do. Like, even just filming yourself giving a homeless person money. Mm-hmm. I hate that. I hate it so fucking much. You're celebrities, I get it. Because maybe they're trying to spread that message and they're trying to be like, oh, well, maybe if more people see, like, me, Kevin Hart, do it, maybe they'll do it.
Yeah.
But, like, I don't know, because you'll just see people give homeless people money and record it. And I'm like, dude, you're not doing it for the right reasons. You're not trying to spread a good message. Yeah. You're just trying to get points.
We've had this conversation before.
Yes.
Of I believe doing the right thing for the wrong reasons is good.
Yes. Yeah, and I believe that was even brought up by the whole recording a homeless person thing.
Yeah, yeah.
It sounds like a challenge.
Recording a homeless...
Like National Record a Homeless Day Challenge.
Yeah.
But yeah, something about, especially like when it comes to like, I don't know, family members or like filming someone who's on their deathbed.
Yeah.
I'm just
even
like,
if
that
it's
seems
not,
so disingenuous.
Even if it's not extreme, you know, like the videos of like colorblind people getting the glasses.
Yeah.
I think the first time I see those videos, I'm always like, oh, that's really sweet.
Yeah.
I didn't even know they fucking existed.
Yeah.
I didn't know something like that, so that was kind of informative to me. But now every time I see it, I'm just like, skip. Like, I just don't care. Like, oh, you recorded a happy moment between you, like something that should have been sentimental to you and your family. Everyone now owns that moment. Like,
yeah,
it's odd.
And like I get it from the perspective of like that's a cool memory to like keep and have, but I think in the moment of that happening, I don't think that would even process in my mind to be like, I should get my phone out.
Yeah.
You know? Because, like, that's not where my mind is. I'm not like, oh, this is happening. This would look good on social media. Like, I could see myself recording that and keeping it for a while, not even thinking about posting it, and then just being like, oh, well, hey, that'd be a cool thing to share. Like, it's been some time now. Mm-hmm. But, like, when you're posting it as it happens, it just is like, I'm getting points right now for this shit. Like, I don't know. And it's not always a bad thing.
Yeah, it is. It is also different. We don't think that way just in general. Like, we're not people who go out to concerts and record them, usually. Like, we're not people like...
I was in high school. Right out of high school, I was.
Well, yeah, I was too. Yeah. But more of now, I just don't, like... I went out to dinner. I didn't take pictures. I just don't do that. I don't use my phone to like capture the moment ever.
No, it doesn't really process in my head.
Yeah, so like even in like big moments like that, I wouldn't think to do it because I don't do it in small moments. I don't go to the gym and do it. I don't.
Yeah, even though it's not always a bad thing. Like even like what you said with like food and stuff, it is somewhat like narcissistical.
A little bit.
You know, because like... Yeah.
Which I actually don't have a problem with.
Yeah. No, I don't have a problem with that. Like, I was like, to me, that doesn't always mean it's bad, but there is some sense
like
of narcissism.
People want to see what I'm doing. People want to see the little, like, the bullshit that I do in my day. Yeah. People want to see that. Like, that is ego there.
Oh, yeah. Like, I couldn't imagine dating one of the girls that, like, vlog everything. Because, like, my girlfriend watches this one girl that does, and, like, she took her boyfriend out to Disneyland, and she recorded everything.
Yeah.
And, like, granted, she didn't post everything, but, you know, she just took clips, whatever. I couldn't imagine being on camera all fucking day, and I'm not getting paid Kardashian money to be on camera all fucking day. You know, because then I feel like I'm like, oh, well, I can't really say what I want to say. Because that was what was on my mind. I was like, dude, her boyfriend is so fucking boring. But I was like, oh, he probably has to be.
He's nervous.
Yeah, because I was like, what if this dude's like the most raunchy dude in the entire world, but he's just like, okay, well, we've had this talk before. I'm not really allowed to say anything. I can just say, oh, wow, babe, that is cool.
Yeah, and especially, like, even, like, for us, we don't really censor ourselves on here at all.
Yeah, yeah.
Versus if we were vlogging all day, I don't think many people... I think that's a younger audience, which means you probably don't want to cuss.
Yeah.
Which really is already something that now you're watching, just trying not to say shit or damn. Like, you don't even want to say those.
Yeah.
So I think that is where you start to really be like, you're really walking on eggshells.
Yeah. Just going about your day. Like, this is supposed to be a nice trip between me and you, and now being recorded. So it's kind of not just me and you anymore.
Yeah. So. Yeah, it is odd.
I don't know. This has been a weird old year for me.
Yeah.
And I just keep sounding older. And I'm not that upset about it. It's been pretty neat. Despite our background and my face being a literal 7 inches away from a stuffed squirrel with a backwards hat on, I feel and am the oldest I've ever been. Yeah, I mean, that's fair to say. I don't think that's controversial. I think that I'm the oldest I've ever been.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't have a problem with any of it. Like, I could date someone who vlogs all day.
It would get annoying.
I bet it does. But
yeah. I could. I could overlook a lot of things if they're bad.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, so, like, I don't know. I don't have a problem with it, but it's not me. Yeah. I personally wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
Is how I feel about all that whole situation that we just did.
I think the worst offender to me is... And it kind of, because you can't really accuse people of this without, like, good ground, because you just kind of sound like an asshole.
Mm-hmm.
But people that have family vlogs, and you'll notice whenever they start the vlog and it gets popular, they have more kids.
Oh, yeah.
And to me, my first thought, you can't really accuse them of it because you can't say for sure. It might not even be the truth, and you just sound like a dick. But it sounds like they're just having kids for content. And it happens.
And, like, the Kardashians, it felt like they all had kids at the same... Like, well, they didn't... It didn't feel like... They all had kids at the same time, and that felt like they were just like, well, they'll all grow up, and then they'll be their own show.
Yeah. And that's when I think it's, like... Honestly, like, a borderline scary thing that, like, kids and people are being brought into this world for content.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah. Like, even... There's just, like... Even the lead up to having a kid is content. Like, they're like, oh, look at my belly now. Like, it just feels very, very weird that people are just doing it. And you can't really accuse them of it, because that's an awful thing to accuse somebody of without proper footing. You know?
You had that kid for content.
Yeah, like, you hate that fucking kid.
Yeah.
Like, you don't care about that kid. Like, you can't say that. Like, you have no fucking idea. But it's just one of those things that... And I'm sure my girlfriend hates when I'm in the room when she watches shit, because I don't always say that stuff, because I do feel myself being annoying, but it's just on my head that I'm like, ugh. And I know she can tell that by my face, by my handsome no matter what face. But, yeah. Yeah. You got anything else?
Song of the week.
Holy shit.
That's all we have left.
My song of the week, Used to Love Her by Guns N' Roses. I love it. It's to me, it sounds like Edgar Allan Poe wrote a fucking song and gave it to Guns N' Roses.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even know if I know that song.
Yeah, the whole hook of it's like, I used to love her, but I had to kill her.
Oh, yeah.
And then I had to put her 6 feet on. Like, it's pretty descriptive, like, to the point where cops probably should have been called on her. But I'm assuming they did a lot of other shit, just as any other old rock band did. Again, not a cool thing to accuse people of without any footing.
Yeah. Mine is Magic by Vince Staples. New Vince Staples song. Love it.
I need to listen to new Vince Staples shit. I'm going to see him in concert in a fucking week.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, so I need to get caught up. To him... Tyler, caught up on. Not worried about that. Not a song that I'm going to miss on that. And the person that's on Run It Up, I think they're going to be there too. It begins with like an M or something like that. I
don't know it. I don't know without looking it up. But
I don't know either, but apparently they're going to be there too. So I'm not really going to get caught up on that. I'm not dying to, but yeah. So I can't wait for that.
Yeah, that's going to be awesome.
Hell yeah, buddy.
And that's been Jammin with Kron Rex.